People envy successful livestock farming, but do they know or have an idea what it takes to have a successful story? Are you an aspiring livestock farmer? Here are some 6 tips or 6 highlights that we have derived from our past interviews. Karibu. Number 1, breed. It's very, very important to know type of breed because there are different breeds in the market or variety of breeds in the market. So various breeds have advantage and disadvantage. Some, they consume very, very much and they have low production, but others, they consume very, very low, but they have high production. And before you settle on a breed, you should also consider your demographic because sometimes you may have a breed that is high consuming and low in intake, but it can't do well because some breeds do well in high land areas and other breeds do well on low land areas. So that is also another thing that you should be on lookout for when selecting type of breed to keep in your herd or in your farm. Number 2, feeds. It's very, very important to have knowledge about feeds. Let's take, for example, you want to do a dairy farm. You won't have the same feeds if you have a lactating cow and a heifer because their body requires different things. Like for a lactating mom, she requires more energy than a heifer. So you should know which type of feed to feed your cow or your goats if, for example, you want to keep goats. Number 3, these livestock are prone to diseases and you should know signs and symptoms even before the diseases spreads in your farm because if it spreads in your farm, you are very likely to have a loss because sometimes these diseases come and sweeps all your flock. So know the signs and symptoms that affect the type of livestock that you have selected so that you are able to be on the lookout before you have any loss. The 4th thing is vaccination. As we have said about diseases, there are vaccinations which are there to curb these diseases. So you should know which vaccine to administer to your herd. And also, there are these services that are offered by the government on various times. Sometimes there are outbreaks. So know or have the information on on when to do this vaccination and also have a contact to about on this agricultural extension officer so that you are able to have the information when to do these vaccinations. And in addition, you can have a contact of a professional vet who you may reach out when there are these outbreaks and also about this vaccine because these diseases sometimes emanate and if you have a veterinary you are able to reach out even before this government roll out their vaccines. Number 5, record keeping or bookkeeping. You may ask, why do I have to have this bookkeeping? It's because we are doing this livestock farming for business purposes. And if you don't keep the records or have your record, you won't know if your business is it making loss or profit. Let's say, for example, one of the things that you should bookkeep is your consumption and also the production. Because if you feed more than what is being produced or your cost of feeding is much higher than what is in production, your farm is making loss. So that is one thing that you should bookkeep. Another thing on why you should bookkeep is when to inseminate. Let's say, for example, you have a dairy farm. You won't know when to inseminate if you don't have records because sometimes you may be late or do the insemination very early on. So that's one of the things on why you should bookkeep. Another thing that you should bookkeep is treatment. When these vets come to your livestock. You should bookkeep so that you know if the diseases repeat itself in your herd, you are able to know animal that was affected by that type of disease, and also the drug that was administered to your cattle, so that you may know if it was administered successfully. The last and but not the least, this is very, very important because that's why we are doing this livestock farming. It's market. This is very, very necessary because sometimes we end up producing and having no market. That's why you should do market research even before starting the livestock that you want to keep. You should have your market so that you are able to know, do you have available market? Do you have also a reliable market so that you not end up having losses? Let's say, for example, you are having milk. Sometimes you may end up having losses because maybe there is oversaturation of milk in your market and it doesn't require your milk. And milk is very perishable, you can't store it. So you may end up having loss in your farm. So those were my 6 points that I have learned through these interviews. And if you want to learn more or hear more about these farmers on what they have shared, there are more uploads on my YouTube channel. You may visit those videos and learn more even on what they have shared in the YouTube channel. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and also comment down below. What else do you want to hear or see in these farms? So thank you so much, guys. Bye.